How's it going, people? This is Hidden Observer X here. I'm here to give you the actual information on these so-called cannibal slash zombie outbreaks. Now, for the skeptics and for people who are fans of zombies, zombies are not real. Okay, we have no actual documented information of there being legitimate zombies anywhere in the world. Where we get our information of zombies from is from video games, movies, books, novels, and recent comic books, as well as mythic legends. To be able to look at a zombie situation in a plausible manner, you have to do a compare and contrast of where you get that information from in real life events. However, the information that you get from zombies being from movies, video games, books, comic books, mythic legends, that's all fictional. So it doesn't really help when it pertains to real life incidents. However, if you look at recent zombie movies and video games as well as comic books, they're almost, the incidences in them and the events in them and how they take place is almost eerily similar to what's going on in real life. Now, the earliest reported awkward occurrence of zombie-like behavior was in March 2012 down in Miami, where a bloody naked man was hit by a cab, and when police were called, it took about 10 or 12 police to subdue this guy. Now, there have been some odd incidences of events, some odd occurrences of events that have happened before the Miami face-chewing of Rudy Eugene. Now, I'm going to be reading some of those events. Now, May 16th, 2012, 15 students and 2 adults break out in a mystery rash after a hazmat exposure at MacArthur High School in Hollywood, Florida. The infected appeared to be okay after enduring a decontamination gauntlet, but the cause of the outbreak was not discovered. Now, that particular report is verified. There was a news report on it, and I do have the link to that. Now, I'm going to continue here. May 18th, 2012, an unknown chemical exposure shuts down Terminal 2 at the Delta Airlines concourse at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. 3 TSA agents and 2 passengers are sent to the hospital with respiratory ailments. Now, I have not been able to verify that report. That I haven't been able anywhere online to find a legitimate news report on that incident, so I'm going to continue. On May 21st, a man in Westchester, Illinois is apprehended after he grabs an 18-year-old woman by the throat and tries to bite her cheek. Now, that is verified. However, I do not have the link to that news article. I have not been able to actually find the legitimate news article, so I'm going to continue. May 25th, 2012, hazmat and emergency personnel respond to Lake County, Florida school after 27 children and adults are sickened on a school bus. That as well is verified. That is a verified news report, and I have the link to that. As well as on May 2012, May 25th, a disoriented passenger on American Airlines Flight 320 from Jamaica to Florida rushes the cockpit as he's subdued by his fellow passengers. I have not gotten any more information on that particular report, whether it was due to bath salts or this guy was just a complete nutcase. But that as well has been verified. And then on May 26th, there was the gruesome attack by the Miami zombie known as Rudy Eugene. Okay, so a lot of these weird incidences are verified. I do have links to actual verified news reports on these incidences. So please look at the links, because this is where a lot of this verified information comes from. As far as any other incidents, I know there was the incidents in New Jersey with the guy who was trying to cut himself open and throw pieces of his intestines and stuff like that at the police officers that responded Witnesses say that he was acting like a zombie, and I'm sure everybody also heard of that. Now, there was another incident on June 7th with Carl Jackanu down in Louisiana, which I also have a link to as well. That is also verified. Of a person, he bit the chunk out of another guy's face, and then of course on June 14th, there was a woman in Munnsville, New York, that was reported by New York Central News, that was acting pretty crazy, high on bath salts. And then the most recent attack down in Miami was on June 21st of a guy who bit the chunk out of another guy's arm. Now, I'm just reporting this stuff to you. I'm just reporting these incidences to you because there's some odd connections as far as the middle school and the high school down in Florida that are near the MacArthur Causeway, where this so-called hazmat incident happened, where some weird chemicals were spilled. The connection to that would be the MacArthur Causeway, where Rudy Eugene attacked this guy. So that would be the odd connection there between the hazmat spill and Rudy Eugene, because it's within the MacArthur region down in Miami, Florida. So we also have some information based that the U.S. Center of Disease Control has issued on their website, precautions to take against a zombie apocalyptic situation. It was just kind of a fun thing, they said, but their excuse is that if you're ready for a zombie apocalyptic situation, you're pretty much ready for any natural disaster. As well as the British Columbian government posted the same thing on their website. As far as this being related to, a lot of people say that it's a drug epidemic. A lot of people say that people are just going nuts. Some people say it's a zombie virus. There are only 2 viruses right now, or bacterial infections, that we know of. One of them being necrotizing fasciitis. Not necrotizing mortosis, which is the fake term that people have put on the internet, but necrotizing fasciitis, which is a form of strep A that gets into your bloodstream and breaks down the cell walls and eats away at your flesh. And as a matter of fact, within days of being infected with it, it starts to work away at your flesh. There is another disease over in Uganda, Africa right now, known as Nodding's disease. And this disease, they say, is a mutated form of rabies that makes people walk around aimlessly, makes them violent, etc., etc. So I do have a link to the Alex Jones show that speaks of these so-called zombie-like diseases, or whatever you're going to call them. That is the only reliable source that I've seen so far that speaks on any flesh-eating diseases or reanimating diseases. Because really, logically, zombies, it just doesn't seem right. But if you look at these stories and the information that goes along with them, and you make the connections to the hazmat spills, it does seem pretty odd. And the fact that the CDC has issued zombie preparedness, as well as the British Columbian government, that also seems fairly odd. But I expect the viewers, and I suggest to the viewers, highly suggest that you look at the links and you make the comparison yourselves between what is going on in the world and pertaining to these events. And this is a viewer's conclusion. Alright, so whoever views this is a viewer's conclusion of what is really going on. And you can reply, you can subscribe. But if this is the zombie apocalypse, I mean, I'm just saying, get ready. It's highly unlikely, it doesn't seem right. But as far as an epidemic of flesh-eating disease, that could be very possible. As far as an epidemic of a mutated form of rabies that turns everybody violent, that also could be possible. So look at the links, really. Look at the links. You have to look at the links, and you have to look at this verified, and where this verified information comes from. Get back to me, subscribe and reply, and make the connections yourself. And if you have any other information, please reply, send me a message, let me know what you guys think. And this is Hidden Observer X. And get back at me. But I'm just letting you know, these are verified. This is verified information. And please, please look at the links, because you have to look at all the links and connect all the information about the stuff that's been going on. Don't forget, there was also a guy who bit a car down in Miami recently, around the same time as the Miami's face true. Did $600 worth of paint damage, and also recently there was a guy who tried to bite the hands off of police. He was a homeless guy, Hispanic. He's on bail now for $5,500. But yeah, that was a pretty crazy story as well. So a lot of the links to this stuff are going to be posted below. So please get back to me, and please let me know what you think. This is Hidden Observer. I keep going on, but I really don't care. But I'm just giving you guys the facts, because I know people like to put a lot of crap out there on the internet. So Hidden Observer. Peace.